Hey everybody, Mrs. Bodechon here. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about how to solve density equations. I remember the formula by saying I love density. I go ahead and I shoot an arrow right through that heart for my love. And you can see that the arrow kind of makes an M on top and a V on the bottom. And the M stands for mass and the V stands for volume. And the arrow is just going to be a division sign. So density really equals mass divided by volume. Now, if you don't like that method for remembering the formula, go ahead and use the trusty triangle. Make sure that your M is on top and the D and the V are on the bottom. Remember how you use the triangle. So if it is next to one another, you're going to multiply. If it's on top of one another, you're going to divide. So let's talk about what density is first. It's the amount of mass per unit of volume. Now, what is mass and volume? Mass is going to be the stuff or the amount of matter or just the matter that's actually in your object or substance that you're calculating. And then the volume is going to be the amount of space that it is taking up. So let's go ahead and do some practice problems. So it says you are given the following information about an unknown element. Volume is 6.0 cubic centimeters and mass is 13.7 grams. What is the element's density? Well, because it's asking us for the density, if you're using the triangle method, we can cover up the D and we can see that it's going to be M divided by V, or mass divided by volume. So I went ahead and I wrote that equation right here on the bottom, and you can see we just substitute in our numbers. So we know that our mass is a 13.7 grams divided by our volume, the 6.0 cubic centimeters. Plug this in your calculator and divide, and you're going to get 2.28 grams per cubic centimeter. Word of caution. This cubic centimeter is saying that the centimeter is what's being cubed, not the 6.0. So when you're typing this in your calculator, do not cube the 6, okay? That unit is actually only on the unit of centimeters being cubed, not the number, okay? Let's try another one. An aluminum substance has a density of 2.99 grams per milliliter. If the volume of the aluminum sample is 6.99 milliliters, what is the mass? We're looking for the mass. So if we use our triangle method, we're going over here and we're canceling out our M. And we can see that what's left is density times volume. So we are going to be multiplying those. So I went ahead and I wrote out the equation. Now we're substituting in for our variables. We know that our density is 2.99 grams per milliliter. I went ahead and wrote that. Multiplied by our volume, which is 6.99 milliliters. Go ahead and put that in. Plug it in your calculator and multiply, and you end up with 20.9 grams. Remember, mass is measured in grams, so make sure you're putting your correct unit on your problem. Now, how do I know that this mass is measured in grams? It's also in our word problem. Remember, density is going to be mass divided by volume, and this is the mass. This is our density, right? So it's mass divided by volume. So if I'm just writing down my mass unit, I need to come up here and I need to see what it was. It was grams. So that is the exact unit that I'm going to be using for this particular problem. Let's try one more. A student has to find the volume of a white rock in a science lab. The density is 3.5 grams per cubic centimeter, and it has a mass of 2.5 grams. What would the volume be? This time we're solving for volume. Go up to our triangle. We're going to cover up our V, and we're going to end up having to do mass divided by density. So I went ahead and I wrote that in our equation. Now we go and find and substitute in our values. So mass is going to be the 2.5 grams, put it right here, divided by our density, 3.5 grams per cubic centimeter, and we go ahead and put it in here, and plug it in your calculator. See what you get. You get 0.7 cubic centimeters. Again, word of caution, remember that the cube is on the centimeters, it's not on the 3.5, okay? So when you're putting it in your calculator, you're just doing the division. You are not actually cubing anything for your math. I hope this was helpful to you all. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, everybody.